Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So in today's video, we are going to create a Hangman game using Python Tkinter. We'll go through the code line by line and see how everything works together. By end of this video, you'll be able to create your own Hangman game using Python Tkinter. Let's get started. First, let's create the file main.py and let's start importing the necessary libraries. First, we start by importing Tkinter as tk. So this is the Python library that lets us create the GUI components. We are also going to import message box from Tkinter, import message box, which will be used to display the messages to the player when they win, lose, or make a mistake. Lastly, we'll import random to randomly create a set of words for the game. Next, we are going to create a word list and helper function. For that, I have a set of word list, word underscore list equal to, so we can give anything in here as a list. So I'm going to give Python, Java, Kotlin, JavaScript, and so here we have a list called word list. This contains the possible words for our Hangman game. You can easily expand this list with more words. Next, define get word. So we defined a helper function called get word that picks a random word from our list using the random.choice function. This ensures that every time you start the game, you get a new word. So next, let's set up the Hangman game class. Class Hangman game. Now we define a class called Hangman game that handles all the game logic and the GUI setup. Next, we will initialize the function using def init self root self.root equal to root self.root.title called Hangman game. So here in the init method, we initialize the game. We pass the root as an argument which represents our main Tkinter window, and we set the title of the game to Hangman. So this appears at the Windows top as a title. Next, we have self.word equal to get word function. So here we randomly pick a word using get word and store it inside self.word. Then we create self.guesses equal to set. So here we create this self.guess to keep track of the letters the player has guessed, and we set max attempts equal to 6. So we represent how many wrong guesses the player is allowed to make. So I have set it to 6, and self dot remaining attempts equal to self dot max attempts. So the remaining attempts to track how many we have left with. So this is done using self dot max attempts, and then we have self dot word display where it holds a blank word that will be displayed in the GUI. Self dot word. Now let's create a canvas for this. Self dot canvas equal to tk dot canvas self dot root width equal to 300, height equal to 300, self dot canvas dot pad y equal to 10. So here we create a canvas where we will draw the Hangman figure, and it's 300 cross 300 pixels, and the pack method is used to place it inside the window with some padding in the y direction. Next, let's initialize the label self.word underscore label equal to tk dot label self dot root comma text equal to empty dot join self dot word display. Then we comma font equal to, let me give Helvetica, comma font size, and then let me pack this label into the window with some padding. So like the above canvas, this line will create a label widget that shows the word the player is trying to guess, and it initially shows a blank, and then for each letter in the word and joined with spaces in between. We also use the Helvetica font. You can choose any font you like to have with size 18, so it's more readable. So next we will create another label to show the atoms the user has made using atoms underscore label equal to tk dot label self dot root comma text equal to f remaining atom. In here pass self dot remaining attempts, close the bracket, then I try to pack this using self dot attempts label dot pack with some padding given. So this label displays how many items the player has left. And then we can create entry widget self.letter. So here where user enters entry self.root self.letter underscore entry dot pack. That's some padding. So here we create an entry widget where the player can input their guessed word or letter. Then finally let's create a button called guess button equal to ticket dot button self dot root text equal to guess, then command for the button guess letter, and I pack it. So here this button triggers the function guess letter when clicked, allowing the player to submit their guessed letter. We can program this guess letter function later in the code. I'll show you how we do it. Now next, let's create a reset button. Text as in reset command as in self dot reset underscore game. Then let's pack this also into. So this reset button calls the function reset game, allowing the player to start a new game. Now let's move on to code the guessing logic. For that, I'm going to define guess letter self. So here I have letter equal to self dot letter entry dot get it as lowercase self dot letter entry dot delete. So now this guessing letter function, we first get the letter entered by the player and convert it into lowercase to avoid case sensitive issues. After that, we clear the entry field for the next guess. Now we will check the length of the letter. If length of letter is not equal to 1 or not letter dot is alpha, then I want to print a message to the user, say invalid input. Please enter a single letter. Return. So we check if the input entered by the user is a single letter. If it is alphabet. So if not, it prints on an error message saying invalid input using the message box. Now we also have to check if the letter has been already guessed. So if letter in self.guesses, print the error message, say message box dot show info already guessed. You have already guessed this letter. Return. So we also check if the letter has been already guessed. So if it's there, we notify the player and stop the further processing. Next, we have self.guesses.add letter. So in here, if the letter is in the word, we update the display to reveal the correct positions of the letter. So in order to do that, if letter in self.word for I, character in enumerate self.word, then inside the for loop we check the character equal to letter. If it's there, then we update it, the letter. So we loop to iterate through the word and check whether the letter matches using the character with the letter. Then else self.remaining items must be subtracted by 1. Self.draw Hangman function is triggered. So if the guess is incorrect, we decrease the number of atoms left and call the draw Hangman function to update the Hangman drawing. Next, updating and checking the game status. So self.update display self.check game status. So after each cases, we update the word display and check if the game has been won or lost. So this else has to be for this if. So if letter in self, then we follow this. If go into this for loop and check for letter, else we just decrement the remaining attempts. So next we have to code in the update and update display method. So we have to follow the same indentation, define update display self. So in this method, this function actually updates the labels showing the current state of the word and remaining attempts. So let's have self.word underscore label dot config in their text equal to blank dot join self dot word display and self dot items label dot config text equal to f remaining atom. In here we have self dot remaining attempts. Now let's go on to code the next function, which is our check update status. So basically this method, we check if the player has won by looking for any remaining blanks. If there are none, the player wins. If the remaining atoms is 0, then the player loses. So if check game status self, in here we check if player has won by looking for remaining blanks, not in self dot word underscore display message box dot show info Hangman. Congratulations, you won. Then we reset the game using self.reset game. And then else if self.remaining items is less than equal to 0, then he has failed. Message box dot show info Hangman, if you lost, the word was self dot word Now let's define drawing Hangman. Define draw Hangman self. In here we have if self dot remaining atoms equal to 5, self dot canvas dot create oval 130, 100, 170, 40 width equal to 2 p2. So we are going to draw the head using this command. So this function basically draws the different parts of Hangman figure based on how many incorrect guesses the player has made. So first the head is drawn when the player has remaining of 5 attempts. Next, when the player has remaining 4 attempts, we draw the body. So we have to create an else if loop. Self dot remaining attempts equal to 4. Self dot canvas dot create line 150, 140, 150, 200. Width is equal to 2. So here I draw the body. Then again, else if when the remaining atoms is 3, then we draw draw both the arms equal to 3. Self dot canvas dot create line 150, 160, 130, 180. Here it's left arm. Right arm, and then we draw the legs when it's only 2 atoms left. Similarly, let's create for the right leg. Right leg. And finally, when the remaining atoms is only 1, draw the rope is drawn with it. Self dot canvas create line 50, 150, 100. Width is 2. We draw in the rope, and when the finally when the player doesn't have any more attempts, we draw the pole, the top of the gallows, and the base to complete the hangman figure. Else if remaining atoms is equal to 0, then we create the pole first. Then top of the gallows. And finally the base. and we reset the game. We reset the game variable using this function. Reset game, pass the self. So we clear all the guesses, and we also clear the canvas by deleting all the lines. So self.word equal to get word first, then self.guesses dot clear self.word display equal to underscore for in underscore in for underscore in self.word self.remaining atoms equal to set the remaining atoms to max atoms self.canvas dot delete all and self.update display. So in here we reset the game variable, select a word and clear all the guesses, and we also clear canvas using self.canvas all to remove the hangman drawn and start with a fresh word and attempt labels. Now let's finally create the instance for the hangman game. If underscore underscore name equal to main root equal to tk.tk then by passing the root game to the hangman class and then root dot main loop keeps the window running until the player closes it. So now let's run the code. Open the new terminal. So yes, now we have this GUI terminal. Now let's guess the word. I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters and I have only 6 atoms to make. So I'm guessing A. So I have A in it. Now I enter W. So I don't have that word in my letter, so it creates the head. Now I have T. So I don't have T as well. Let's get H. So yes, I have H in it. So remaining 4 attempts. So I have to enter the single word. If you don't enter anything, it creates a message box. So that's working. Now I enter U. So I don't have U in my letter. I am entering Z. No. G. Yes. So I have only 2 more atoms. Let's enter B. 1 more atom. Let's enter M. Oh, M. I have M in it. Now let's enter Z. So I cannot guess this letter. Let's enter another word. L. So you lost. The word was hangman. So basically I don't have any atoms. So click OK. Reset. So let me enter H. Okay. M. L. So I don't have this word. I. No. A. Correct. N. Okay. So G. So it prints out, congratulations, you have guessed the correct word. Now I try to enter some invalid cases like numbers. So it says you have to enter the single letter, or if I try to enter two words, still it says you cannot enter two words, you have to enter single letter. So yeah, that's it. So now you will be able to create this Hangman on your own. Try it out and leave comments in below the comment box. And do like and subscribe to our channel for more coding tutorials. Happy coding! See you in the next video.